what's up guys, I'm back with a new video. So as you can tell, I'm dressed up. I know I'm gonna keep saying this every time I do a reaction video, but yes, I'm dressed up. And today's outfit is I'm wearing a beanie and then the same red clip-on earrings I wore in my probably second or third reaction video in my Justin Harley week video. And I'm wearing this necklace, and then I'm wearing this black ring, my red bracelet with the turtle on it, and my white and black bracelet to match my outfit. I'm wearing my Superman shirt and jeans, and for the shoes, you probably see it when I post it on my Instagram, my YouTube Instagram, and my Twitter, when I have the chance to post it. But today's video, I am going to be reacting to none other than the Season 2 finale episode of Superman. This is the last episode for Season 2. I'm so excited to watch it because I've been wanting to watch it since I just remember it's coming out today on the CW app. And although I'm like a little sad that this is like going to be the last episode of Season 2 before we can get Season 3, I really hope there's a Season 3, and if there's a Season 3, I really hope that the months pass by fast so that I can get to the month where Season 3 comes out. But yeah, I'm going to be reacting to the last episode, season finale of Superman and Lois, and I'm so excited. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say, and I'm going to go start filming the rest of my reaction to Superman and Lois. And also, if I don't put too much of my reaction in there on this video, it's probably because I didn't film my reaction a lot, just only more of the episode. So yeah, I just wanted to give it a little heads up. So yeah, see you in the next part of this video.
We just need to figure out how. I was able to connect to a suit.
It's probably just the two are.
It doesn't matter, it should work. Look, when my mom died, I wasn't with her. She was out reporting to people on how to defend themselves.
Tell me. Is that Lois?
Commander Zero.
I'll take that as a no.
Lois, this whole corpse bride look rather works, actually.
Can we just focus on
Can
this
we
situation?
Because
How do we stop Allie?
Well, brother,
her life with her Clark was like,
I am.
Tal, she drained me.
And the leagues of superheroes they have on them. And even though we only have your father on this planet, thank God that we do. Because he's the finest of any Earth. So don't go losing hope yet. I sure as hell haven't. Your mother hasn't, and I guarantee you, neither has Superman.
The stuff that I've learned about you and your dad, I mean, looking back, it makes so much sense. It's the biggest secret in the world, and you have to really trust somebody.
I do trust you, Sarah.
I know.
That's not what I meant.
I mean, I did save his life.
Yes, you did. It does not mean you can keep the truck.
Yo, Jordan, you gotta see the sound system on this. Maybe this is his way of apologizing.
Yeah, his very misguided and irresponsible way, Tal.
Yo, guys, it has a heads-up display. It's holographic. Look at this. Where do you think it went anyways?
This is incredible.
It's only the beginning.
okay, I'm back with my reaction to the whole episode of the season finale of Season 2 of Lois, Superman and Lois, I mean. So, let me tell you this when I say that this was mind-blowing and bizarre, hence, the bizarros. And what I didn't realize what was happening, I already knew that Austin was trying to merge both their worlds together, what I didn't know is that how crazy it was gonna be. Like, the Kent family, they were in, and Natalie, they were in their house, and they keep seeing glitches, but they see like part glitches of the Kent farmhouse from the other world coming into theirs. And right when it was getting like good, their Lois is not there with them, and Natalie finally got back in contact with her father. And what she didn't know was that he was saying goodbye to her in case if anything happens. And here we see like Talro coming back, and I'm like, finally, like, since he disappeared after Ali was trying to suck his powers away from him, he has not shown his face since. And I was like wondering, where the hell did he go? And when we saw him come in, I was like, wow, finally this dude shows his face. Because if he didn't, they'll be pissed. They'd be pissed. And I love how they finally got to meet their mom's bizarro doppelganger. And what Talos says next after him and Clark walks out the house, was that this Taurus bride look that Lois has is working for her. And I'm like, okay. And then they were talking about how Clark needs to get his powers back, or to heal much faster, so that he can help save the world, so it wouldn't be too much on just his son and Talro. And here comes Jordan and Jonathan saying their opinion in this. They told their dad that he cannot go into the sun, because what if he doesn't survive it and whatnot, because their grandma did tell him that he wouldn't survive if he, did this other thing that she wasn't able to tell him, because she kept cutting out because of the merging thing. But what Clark says next to Taro was so sweet. Like, he's like, I trust you as a friend and a brother, when, Taro was helping him and stuff. Now it's your turn to trust me. And, like, honestly, like, after that, Taro did take him to the sun and threw him in there just like fast, so that he wouldn't have to hesitate in not doing it. And Clark's like absorbing the sun's helping him heal faster. But before they did that, before Clark told that to Taro said that he would be the one to stop Ali from trying to merge the two worlds together quicker. And Clark didn't want that because of the last time they worked together, and his life force sort of kind of got sucked out. But Taro told him that he came back because not to just fight for Clark, he also was there to fight for his family. And when I heard him say that, it was like so touching, because he finally did change. Like, he finally realized that being a villain to try to get his family together, the family he always wanted since growing up and finding out that he has a little brother, he realized that he'd rather try to like earn their trust again and be in their lives than trying to ruin it and forcing them to be in his, which I love, because his character growth really like changed a lot lately this season. Like, in the beginning of season 2, he started getting like deceived Clark, but then Clark took him down, brought him back to his red sunlight, no powers gel. And the more Taro got to think, he realized he doesn't want to keep like doing this like fighting thing with Clark or towards Clark and against Clark. So I love how him and Clark's relationship has grew since they found out they were both brothers, or at least when Clark found out he has a brother. And now they're like semi-close. They're not that close yet. And through this entire their entire time, you know, making sure everyone's okay and stuff, we see Lois in the other world. She sees how that world's Allie's followers were like waiting to be merged with their other selves. And of course we didn't see like Kyle throughout half of this episode because he was in the other world. He didn't like glitch back into their world. And of course he kind of felt like him being in that other world was like karma for what he did to Lana, to his family. But it wasn't karma. It wasn't at all like that. Like, yes, he made some mistakes, but him being away from his family was not what he deserved. Like, it was just a world merging kind of situation, kind of thing that a villain was doing. It wasn't his fault that he was there, and Lana had to remind him of that. And then he glitched back into their world, and he reunited with Lana and his family, which is so sweet. I love how they hugged him so tight, and their sad face appeared. And while all that was happening, Chrissy from the other world and Lois's dad, our Lois and our Sam and Chrissy, or just Sam, was glitched back into their world, and he drove fast to the camp farm. Jordan and Jonathan told him what happened to their mom. He's like, yeah, I know, I was with your mom and stuff. And of course, those two were spiraling out of control because when they told their grandpa that their dad went into the sun to get his powers back and stuff, they thought they were gonna die, or at least Jonathan said that. And the more they were spiraling and stuff, it made Sam like yell at them, but not like yell like a grandpa would yell when you're in trouble or whatever. He just yelled at them to make them stop getting yelling at each other, and told them this like really inspiring speech that there are other worlds with superheroes and stuff, and this world is glad to have one of them. And his dad is Superman, and he has hope, and you know, so on and whatnot. And they have faith that their father would make it out of the sun and, you know, get his powers back and stuff. And after that, we see Clark finally taking down Allie. Like, Allie was so surprised that Clark wasn't like dying or anything from her absorbing his powers until she found out, or sort of felt like he was mega healed by the sun. Like, he has so much sun radiation in him that he's like, go ahead, take more. And he brings Allie's hand, the one that's absorbing his powers, to his chest and absorbed much. And of course, Allie and the other Allie were screaming and stuff. But then eventually Clark like did this, and then like pushed her down towards his Earth, or their Earth, merging Earth. And we see both Allies like breaking apart. They're not merged together or anything. And of course, Clark, being the hero he is, he's not gonna let them fall to their death. He flies so quickly to them, saved them, and flew them to John Henry and Natalie, and you know, they're holding him and stuff, and he tells them to keep them apart. That's what they did. And let me tell you, Jonathan, Jordan, and Sam were so happy that it worked, that Clark is finally Superman again with his powers. And he flies real fast, and like a little bit glitched happened. Lois got to see Clark finally got his powers back, or at least healed his powers so quickly that he finally got them to work again. And let me tell you, like, when that happened, like when he flew out, I was like, yes! Like, I think you would see in the part of me reacting, cheering for that. If not, then you actually saw how I cheered. And I was like so happy when I saw that. I was like, yeah, you can never take Superman from his power for that long. And you know, but to be honest, for a bit I was like sort of worried that he wasn't gonna get his powers back real fast enough to save the world. But thank God he did a risky situation and stuff, and that risky decision he made helped him get his powers back. And I'm thankful that it worked, because if it didn't, it would be so sad that we would lose him. And then afterwards, Clark's like flying around the two worlds faster, and then he flies into his world, their world, and he ends in the desert where Taro's base is, and he starts like goes down and he like hits his hand to the ground and he starts yelling and hears all the like sun waves or whatever going around him, and it like blew up towards up in the sky, and it separates both worlds. So now the doppelgangers are back in their world, except for the doppelganger alley. They're both locked up together, but no powers, thank God. And Clark finally like goes back to Smallville with everyone in the streets, and when he gets down, everyone's like looking at him, they're cheering, which thank God they do still. And Lois is finally back in their world. I was like, yes. And Lois like, Superman. And they looked back at each other and they smiled. I think they smiled. I only saw Lois's face just a little bit. And then afterwards, we see back at the Kent farm where these two guys brought these two trucks, and of course they want to know if the two boys were Jonathan and Jordan. They said they were, and of course Clark wanted to know who was that truck from. He finds out it's from his brother, nonetheless, and it's so funny. Like the boys were like so happy about the truck. Jonathan's in his truck. Jordan hasn't gone into his, and you know Jonathan's like played around with his father. Like, don't worry, I'll make and whatever he said next, and he like Clark sort of said his next statement to Tal like real loud, or loud enough for him to hear. But little did he know is that he went to the other world to probably, I don't know, experience what life would be in that other world, and also to find out where his wife is at. To be honest, I don't think Bizarre Lana's even back on that world, and probably still on his world in prison. And Jordan's like, I did save his life, so. And of course Clark, you know, as much as he likes that Taro got the boy something nice, like at least one thing nice, since finding out that he has nephews. He knew that the boys are gonna have to earn their way to show that they can, or at least show Clark and Lana that, you know, they would like be good in school and homework and stuff, and to prove to them that they could trust them driving these trucks. I don't even know what even happened to those trucks after we never saw them drive it yet. And Clark took Lois, and well, before what I'm gonna say next, we see Sam and Lucy saying goodbye to Lois and the others because they're gonna take a trip together and whatnot. And afterwards, Clark takes Lois and the boys on this small boat. Well, not like small boat, but like the kind of boat that you take to go fishing. But in their case, they're not going fishing. They're out in the open of the ocean. And, you know, Clark starts saying his thing. And he tells Jonathan that his grandmother would be so excited to meet him, and that she has so many Kryptonian technology she wants to show him, anything else will give him. And he was so stoked about it. And of course, it's not gonna be his Fortress of Solitude, or his second Fortress of Solitude would be the family's Fortress of Solitude that he can always go to together. But when he threw it in, it's so funny how Jordan didn't think that it takes time for the Fortress of Solitude to like rise up, and he's like, it's probably that crystal was expired, and I'm like, oh Jordan, if only you knew how this works. And then when like half of like the pointy parts of the ice Fortress Solitude came up, it scared or shocked Jordan and Jonathan a little bit, that they backed up a little, but they were also stoked to see it. And then now they're all gonna try to realize or find out how they're gonna make this work and stuff and whatnot. And before I end like that part, we see John Henry Irons in the cafe getting something to eat or whatever, and then here comes John Diggle, coming in, and he talks to him about, what happened in season 1, when he asked for a weapon to kill Superman, but Diggle was so glad that John Henry Irons didn't use it, and Diggle asked him if the name he told him rings a bell. He said no, and he tells him that that person killed the John Henry Irons from this world, but he wants to find out why. So I think he's probably gonna have John Henry Irons help him find out why his doppelganger from their world was killed for some reason. And then honestly, like, I'm like so happy to see John Diggle guest starring again. Like, he guest starred in The Flash, and then he guest starred in here, and I'm like always wondering what's the reason of them bringing John, back here. Like if Kara and Barry and the others don't exist in that world, then how does Clark and the others remember John? Like, how does that work? Like, because all of those superheroes, like, they created that Prime world, and of course Clark ends up having his world for just Superman or whatever. But I always wonder, how do they remember John Diggle if they don't know Barry or Kara or the others? I mean, it's because, we never know the full extent of why this Arrowverse show is different from the other verse show. Like, Clark and Lois doesn't remember, like, knowing Clark and Lois, doesn't remember, knowing Kara, Barry, and the others. And so I hope that we get, like, probably an interview with the cast members, Superman and Lois, or the producers, or whatever, or whoever, to get the full extent story about this. Like, we only got a little part of why the other Arrowverse superheroes are not on, Clark and Lois' world. And it wasn't, like, really enough for probably, I don't know, some of us to understand, like, all of it. But honestly, like, it's a good episode. It's a really amazing episode. I love the quality of each part of the episode. Like, I was like, dang, this is really good quality episode. And I love how they make every episode, like, good quality, but, like, better than the last. So I'm really hoping that season 3 does happen. They do get renewed for season 3. They are renewed for season 3. I'm so happy for them. And I can't wait to watch it when it comes out, because I'm so excited. I'm also so excited to see the next part of John Henry Irons and Natalie's storyline on here. And I can't wait to see what the Kent's storylines are. And what's gonna happen more with Sarah and Jordan now that Sarah knows. I was like finally, like when Sarah found out that Jordan has powers and he was talking to her mom about it, I was like, finally she knows. And now that Jordan doesn't have to lie to her about anything that deals with his powers and whatnot, because right when they like reset their like plate and stuff, and they start being honest and stuff. I love how Jordan's like now finally talking about when he found out when he had powers and whatnot. I love that. Overall, this is a really good episode, and I love it. I would give this like a 10 out of 10, like honestly. If not, I'll probably give this like a 100 out of 10, because it's a really good movie. Good episode of this season. And yeah, I guess that's it for my reaction. And yeah, so I'll see you in the next, so make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell to always be notified, because weekly or monthly videos are coming. They're just gonna take time for me to, film it and then edit it and then upload it. But yeah, and if you want to continue following me on my Instagram journey, my social media journey, I would put all my user handles, follow them under the description. And yeah, I guess that's it for the video. I'll see you in the next probably reaction video or any kind of video I'm gonna be doing. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.